What's up, y'all? It's Mr. 6'8" in the house, and I am with a new video, okay? Baby, have y'all seen Bruised with Halle Berry? Well, if you haven't, get into it. Listen, it was giving me what I needed. I didn't have high hopes for it at first because I don't really like boxing films, okay? I think I've seen Creed in the past, and it was, it was good with Michael B. Jordan, even though I really watched it for Michael B. Jordan, no shade, no tea. But nonetheless, though, Bruise was definitely a movie that was quite interesting. Here's my take on it. Here's my review on it and my thoughts. Roll that beautiful bean footage. I got a lot to say. Okay, so basically in a nutshell, let me just kind of go down through the cast, okay? So we got Halle Berry, who plays this former fighter, okay? Her name in the movie, Halle Berry, was Jackie Pretty Boy. Let me look, because you know my mind get old. Yes, Jackie Pretty Boy Justice, okay? So Jackie Pretty Boy Justice was a former fighter, okay? About 4 years prior to, when the movie, as far as, picked up at the beginning. Fast forward, she kind of fell off the map, became an alcoholic, was depressed, seemed like couldn't get a life together, didn't really know which direction she was taking. And so she had her boyfriend. Sorry, y'all, it ain't that ish. But nonetheless, she had a boyfriend who was named Desi, who was played by Adam Cantano, I believe his name is. And Desi was basically her manager and everything. And, he had her, I guess you would say, wrapped around his finger because it seemed like that, when they were together, they were very volatile. And it seemed like that he was very controlling and kind of emotionally abusive towards her. And, he just didn't seem like he had her best interest at heart. Then, fast forward, we see that her manager, Desi / boyfriend, takes her to this underground fight where she get her ass whooped. I'm just saying, that's exactly what happened. I don't know what else to sit here and say. I don't know how to sit here and say it, but she got her ass whooped. And, from there, she basically, was like, to hell with it. Fast forward, okay, we then see her mom, played by Adrienne Lennox, named Angel. Okay, her mom is named Angel. And her mom brings this boy, this peanut head looking boy. No, I'm just joking. He brings this peanut head looking boy, to come and basically, drop the bombshell that, hey, you had a son that you abandoned as an infant, and now you gonna raise this child. And so basically that's like the whole where the story really starts to pick up at. And this child, who was played by Danny Boyd, named Manny, was silent the whole entire movie, didn't say not one word. At some point I was just like looking at him funny. Baby, are you touched by an angel? What's going on with you? Hey, the boy didn't say nothing, not a peeps, pip, spaghetti, nothing, okay? You better not say spit, speak, spaghetti, nothing. That's exactly what it was given. So, we had Manny, okay, who was the son of Justice, played by Halle Berry. And basically, the story was centered around this boy. We see that there's kind of like a foreshadow of where, at some particular point in the movie, there was a song played called Just the Two of Us. We can make it if we try. And it was kind of, to me, that the foreshadowing of telling the story that it's really just the two of them, Manny and Justice, and that, they really have each other to depend on, and that they have found strength in one another. And we would see towards the end of the movie the segue of how all of that comes back into fruition, at the end. But nonetheless, though, before I get too ahead of myself, Then on top of that, we have Bobby, who was the trainer for Justice, played by Sheila 18. Okay, that's her name. Sheila 18. Gorgeous. Look like she could be in Wakanda, right? So then we have Lady Killer. Okay, she was played by Valentina Shirkono. Wait a minute. Let's try it again. Valentina Shirkono. I hope I got that right. But she was Lady Killer. And she was going to be the opponent to Justice, okay, in the big championship fight, okay? Which, by the way, it was $10,000, if I recall correctly, just to even enter the fight. So, nonetheless, you know, of course, there was an incentive for Justice, played by Halle Berry, to enter the fight because she really, I think the movie really depicted on what it was really like to be a single parent, having to raise a child and to try to figure out this whole parenting thing. Clearly, Halle, you know, I keep calling her Halle, but AKA Justice, had no idea that her son, you know, estranged son, long lost son, would come back in her life. And I really feel like that the movie captured really the struggles and stuff that a lot of single parents of minority go through, I guess, is what I took from the movie. Just my personal views. Okay, these are my personal views. This is how I feel. You may feel different, but that's how I felt. So, and I felt like it was a great depict of it. Now, as the movie progressed, you know, into it, we see that, you know, even though Justice is still being managed by her boyfriend, we see that the relationship becomes even worse as time go by. And I feel like that the reason why the relationship becomes worse as time go by is because of the fact that her husband, well, not husband, boyfriend, sees that, you know, she's kind of really coming into her own woman, okay? And she's finding a voice for herself, okay? In the meantime, you know, we see the struggles between Halle and Manny. You know, we see where, you know, he constantly feels thrown away, misunderstood, confused. Excuse me. All of the above. You know, there was even at one point where when Halle was getting beat up, because, you know, she used the names big and little to refer to her son and herself. And, you know, basically that was her way of letting him know that, you know, she was always going to be Mama Bear and protect him. And there was a part in the movie where she was getting beat up, Halle was, and, you know, the boy came in there after, you know, he had been hanging around Bobby, who was a trainer who had kind of taught him how to tap out whenever things kind of get rough or things kind of become toxic or chaotic in his life, and how to just, you know, either hold his hands up or either kumbaya and stuff. Now, for everybody that don't work, because some folks kumbaya, they don't need no kumbaya. They be ready to sit here and knock out, okay? And that's how I be, okay? Sometimes you kumbaya be taking too long, and you just need to sit here and knock out, and that's how I be sitting here feeling. But she had taught him how to do that, and so as we saw in the middle of the movie, as it, you know, progressed through, it paid off because, you know, she came home and Bobby was there and they was watching a movie on the, you know, fighting moves of this other opponent that they was trying to train for, or trained to get ready for in preparation of the fight. And we see Desi, her boyfriend, drunk self, comes, you know, rummaging through the house and stuff. And he find out that, you know, she done thrown away all of the alcohol because she's trying to become a better person. And all of a sudden, all hell break loose, okay? And we see that boy, okay, that boy said he didn't want no hot dog from that man, okay? He said he wanted to sit here and cook his own food. He said, the hell with that hot dog. But he said, if I got to eat this, let me cook it myself. And we see how the boy had to throw the hot dogs in the pan and stuff and almost set the house on fire. And, you know, it just was a whole lot going on. But nonetheless, when Justice, played by Halle, was getting beat up, the boy come in there, he held his arms up, and you can see the tears in his eyes, and it just really touched my heart, because I just was like, Lord bless his heart. He already done been through half of hell. Now he got to sit here and come up into this volatile household that he didn't ask to be a part of, and he already don't be talking and stuff. So that just made things even worse, because we don't know what the hell he's sitting here thinking or saying. So y'all, it was just giving me traumatic disorder after traumatic disorder. I just was so lost and discombobulated at that point, in an emotional wreck. At this point, I just wanted the boy to get some help, to get out of the situation that he was in. Hell, I wanted Halle to get out of the situation that she was in. But y'all, it just really shows how children really look up to you and see everything that you do, and it becomes a reflection of how they view you as being this either warrior or either weak person. And that's what I took from it. Okay, that was my take from it, as far as, when it came to the relationship dynamic between Justice and Manny. Now, as time progressed, of course, as I had kind of already suspected, we see that Halle, takes on playing the other woman, okay, to Bobby, who we come to find out, likes women and stuff. And, Bobby is like this person, Bobby, who's a trainer. She's like this comforter, for Justice. And it's almost like that, even though Justice was not looking for anybody, because she was already in a difficult relationship, she really, I felt like, opened up to Bobby, and really it allowed her to really like deal with whatever issues she had going on, because for a while there, it just looked like that all she wanted to do was drink and be drunk all the time and just give up on life. But it seemed like that when she was around Bobby, she had life back into her. So I like the movie for these life lessons that we go through in life on a daily basis, which is, when things get rough, don't give up. It may seem like that the struggle is going on right now, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna always last. I like the accurate depicts of what people really go through, struggling from day to day. Even when we seen her, at the grocery store with Manny, and we saw that she only had a $20 bill, and she told Manny to get one snack, and he got more than one. That's another life lesson, because sometimes you just ain't got it. You just ain't got it. And she thought the woman was gonna cut her some slack. And the woman was like, hey, this is life. Either you going to sit here and put something back, or we going to have to sit here and tote your ass up out here with the po-po. So, I mean, it's life lessons. And that's what I appreciated about the movie. That's what really kept me intrigued, is that it really gave me a sense of struggles are real, okay? They are reality. And they are not meant to break you, but build you up and make you stronger. So then by the time towards the end of the movie, as time progressed, because we also, before I go to that part, we also see the dynamic between Angel and Justice, because it seemed like that there was a lot of unresolved issues. And this is where I really could relate, because when Angel initially brought Manny around, as far as to introduce Manny to Justice and say, hey, you got a son, she was really, you could tell, really did not care for her daughter. And we didn't never understand, why is there so much resentment coming from Justice, and why is there so much anger coming from her mom. But then as the movie progressed, we come to find out that, the man that her mom, who it seems like that her mom is just trying to find her place in life and be happy and do her, at this point of her life. And she just wants to be happy. But we see that little piece of what she is searching for has cost her relationship with her daughter, because back in the day we found out that man that was running all up and through the house with her mom had been pretty much doing things to Justice that no child should ever have to go through. And when Justice confronted Angel about that, she was in denial and said that, she would never let someone hurt her child like that and do those despicable things. But this is real life, y'all. This is things that people really go through a lot, which is you never know what childhood trauma can have resulted from you bringing the wrong people around your child. And that's another life lesson. Be careful of who you bring around your child. If you just met a man, that man shouldn't be nowhere near your child within like the first month or even more sometimes, because you don't never know people until you know people. And unfortunately, she ended up being in a crossfire and ended up having things that happen to her. So, we it at this particular point, it made sense to me why she was the way she was, is because of the fact that she was acting out of hurt. All of the alcohol consumption, being with this crazy man, Desi, it was all a thing of being hurt, out of hurt. Okay. Also, before I get to the end of the movie, we see that there was someone by the name of what was his name? Stephen McKinley, okay, who was kind of like the cheerleader. By the time the movie got to the end, we saw the big fight. Now, before that fight came about, Justice had told Bobby basically that she no longer really wanted to do a relationship because she needed to work on herself. Once again, another life lesson. And that life lesson is that sometimes people want to get in a relationship so quick, but they have work to do on themselves. And I could appreciate the fact that the director wanted to show this example of what it's like when you're not all together, put together, and that it's okay to say, hey, I need some time to get myself together before we go forward in whatever we do, or maybe not go forward at all and just be friends. But clearly, rejection is a reality, another life lesson, and Bobby didn't take too well to that, and she felt some kind of way, so Bobby didn't show her ass up to the fight. So now we get to the fight, and we see that there's only the cheerleader who was called Pops, played by Stephen McKinley, who was basically the one cheering her on Justice to, get in this ring, make this happen, do what you got to do and take home the trophy. Now, I'm going to be honest. Justice got her ass whooped, and I think she took that ass whooping with grace. But nonetheless, though, what we learned is that even though she didn't come out the winner, she still came out on top because people learned to respect her at this point, and people could appreciate as far as what she had to offer as an individual. Even though I felt like that it was never her intention to want to have to feel validated by others. But once again, it goes back to another life lesson. Sometimes we just want to feel validated and be seen by others. And I think that was the biggest connection with, as far as this movie, is that sometimes you just want to be seen in order to get your shine back. And it was like, even though she didn't win the fight, just to hear people cheering her name, it did her heart good. So then, after the fight was over, she ended up getting her life together. Bobby came back around. Okay, she had been battered and bruised and beat up and had been out there, I guess, getting her ass whooped too, because she wanted to honor her future boo slash fiance slash wife, or whatever you want to call it. Then we see Manny finally, after the whole 2 hours and something, I think it was, finally speak up and say, thank you, Big, which is, once again, as we mentioned earlier, was the nickname that, Justice had told Manny that, she could be called, and that he was little. So, as she was bending down to tie a shoe at the end of the movie, it was like, that was his way of letting her know, okay, I see you have went through your life lessons, mama, and now I love you because you have shown me as far as your flaws, your weakness, and that you are still here, and that you are doing better as a mother. And that's what I took from it. Overall, I give the movie definitely a strong, I give it a strong 8.5. And I only give it, the reason why I won't give it a perfect 10 is because it's not that it was a typical movie of where it's like that you already know how it's gonna end. But I know it's gonna sound cliche, y'all, but I really thought that she was gonna win the fight, and that she was gonna like really do the doggone thing. But I like the twist they put on it because it left us guessing and not predicting how the fight was going to go. We probably thought, oh, she gonna win the fight and that's it. But it was a good movie. It definitely kept my attention. Like I said, it's not some of my favorite stuff that I would probably go back and well, I don't know. I might go back and watch it because I watched it twice already. I watched it the first time by myself and I watched it twice with my friends. So I might go back and watch it again. So I would definitely probably give it a 9 then. We're going to give it a 9. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments and let me know if it was worth the watch. I thought the acting was great. I did think that the storyline was consistent. It kept me intrigued, even though it was a slow moving storyline at some points, but it still kept me intrigued because I appreciated the stuff that I feel like the producer or director was trying to capture in those moments, as far as those life lessons that I talked about. So for that, it kept me intrigued. It made me feel good on the inside once the movie was over with, and I was happy to see that she got her happy ending. Justice got her happy ending at the end. So y'all let me know what y'all think. This is my review on Netflix for Bruised. Until next time, my fun sizers. Peace.